Okay, so welcome everybody. Happy Wednesday. My thought for you is we are approaching, again, Saturday begins Navaratri. And so my thought for you today is on the concept of the peaceful warrior, or the concept of the one that steps into conflict, that steps into battle, that has no aggression, right? Because this is the energy of, the goddess herself. And in the stories, is she, she's ubiquitous. The energy of the goddess, or the energy of Shakti in yogic, cosmology, is the energy of everything, right? So anything that you see, anything that you feel, that's already Shakti, right? That's what it's made of. So the goddess is just concentrated, right? That energy. But she arrives as a character in order to save us, right? That's always why she arrives, is in order to save us from something that we feel that we can't handle ourselves. And that's what leads us to call on that concentrated energy to somehow rescue us. But when she steps into battle, when she steps into conflict, is she steps in with no aggression, right? There's never a moment where what she is stepping into, that she's seeking to destroy it because it's wrong, right? Or to destroy it because it shouldn't exist, right? Because for her, all of that she's destroying is still Shakti, right? It's still part of her. So as individuals, can we start to cultivate that same feeling of interconnectedness? That whatever it is you want to see shift in your life, whatever your conflicts are, whatever your challenges are, whatever you find yourself coming hard up against, right? And your desire is for it to maybe go away, right? Your greatest desire is for it to disappear. Is, can you still approach it with that feeling that there's no aggression, right? Because to destroy whatever is challenging you is to destroy a part of yourself, right? Whatever is rising up to meet that that's in front of you would not be what it is if it didn't have that challenge, right? So this concept of the warrior who steps into battle but with no aggression, or the concept of the energy that steps into conflict with a desire for there to be a betterment for both sides, a betterment for all sides. That's what we're working with goddess energy, is that there's this invitation. She's always an invitation, even for what seems like it's so confused and doesn't make sense. She says there's still a way for you to be part of this interconnectedness. There has to be. So we practice that in us, because our aggression will hold us back, right? Our anger will hold us back. The way that we try to obliterate our problems will hold us back, right? What saves us is not those things. What saves us is the ability to find a greater love and a greater acceptance for how we are connected to each other in this creation, right? So comfortable seat if you're not there already. And that means stepping into your own life, right? Your own conflicts. With that first, that feeling of openness. Right? The Buddhists say it's the stepping into things completely naked, with no attempt to protect yourself. It doesn't mean letting yourself be hurt for no reason, but it means not seeking to try to limit the other side, to try to limit what's in front of you. Understand it. So we cultivate that feeling of openness. So start to find that, bring into your mind that image of the blue sky. The metaphor is that under the blue sky is everything. It watches life unfold. And the blue sky doesn't disregard a painful moment. It doesn't disregard death. It doesn't disregard suffering. And it doesn't disregard joy. So that state of openness means that we start to come into a full comprehension of what we're feeling. And from there, we can start to see how there's a way to create peace, create balance, not by destroying something, but by seeing the interconnectedness and how it can be more true to itself. So you start full breaths. Blue sky. Whatever occurs within that blue sky, don't reject it. The greatest power you have, that's the saving energy, is that nothing is rejected. One more deep breath into that open space. And as you exhale, bring the hands together in front of the heart, palm to palm. We'll open with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. And let the eyes float open. Nice, you guys. You can release your hands, please. Come forward to hands and knees. Come into child's pose, knees wide. Big toes together to touch. Dropping hips back to your heels. Good. Breathe deeply into the back of your heart. And keep breathing that open space into your mind. The moment that your mind decides that it's sure that something has to be this way, a thought feels like it's really tight, breathe into that blue sky. Because the painfulness of our encounters, the painfulness of our conflicts happens much more in our mind than it does anywhere else. You're breathing in blue sky, and the moment you feel your mind tightening, you feel that desire to protect your perspective, your way of thinking, your way of being. Breathe in blue sky. Doesn't mean that you're wrong, but maybe there's a softer way. Last breath, breathing deep into the back body. Exhaling, releasing deeply through your pelvis. Good. Then come back up to hands and knees, please. Do a little hip circling, moving the pelvis. Good. Then move yourself the other direction. The warrior energy, the energy that has the ability to persevere, the energy that saves. And sometimes in some forms of the goddess, it's actually so that she carries you over the threshold, right? In Tara, they say she carries you over the threshold from ignorance to understanding. Come back to stillness, please. Spread your fingers wide, tuck your toes, lift your hips, come into downward facing dog. Good. And then walk your feet forward to your hands. Nice, standing forward fold. Good, bend your knees, drop your sit bones low for chair, walk your hands up onto the tops of your thighs and cat-cow your spine. Good, watch that your knees point towards second or third toe, so you still have the energy of your legs holding steady, but you're moving your spine. Good, very interesting to notice if the top of your pelvis is moving, right? The hip points, right and left, if they're moving at the same rate. So when you round your back, are your hip points rising to the same degree? If they're not, notice which one is a little bit collapsed. Try to give it a little bit more space. You might have to even twist in that direction a little bit. Good. This is that energy that says that I come in to find the place that is the greatest balance, not to come in and obliterate what seems like it's not correct. Good. Come back to stillness, hips low, sweep the arms up alongside your ears. Nice. Hug those inner knees, but press those thighs wide. Come up on your tippy toes of your feet. Lift your heels and drop your hips. Still in chair. There you go. Nice, you guys. And then heels press down to the floor. Come all the way up to stand. Good. Take hold of your right wrist with your left hand and pull to your left. Good. Don't let your hips sway out to the side. Keep your ribs drawing in. Beautiful. Come all the way back up to center, please. Switch your hands. Reach to your right. Good. Press into your feet. Don't lose that connection. Nice. All the way back up to center, please. Good. Widen your feet as wide as your mat. Good. Take your hands back behind you. Interlace your fingers at the low spine. So toes are facing straight ahead as wide as your mat. Bend your knees, right? Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Hug the upper arms. Bend your knees though. Take your butt back. Torso parallels the floor. Good. So the arms are in that clasped position, but you're leaning forward. Take your butt way back. Good. And then lift your chest from your low ribs. Pull in, round your back a little more. Good. And then lift your collarbones up and wide. Hug those upper arms towards each other. Pull straight back through your arms and push forward with the crown of your head. Extend your butt back, ribs in. Good. And then scoop your low belly just a little bit more. Press into your heels. Take your butt to the sky. Straighten your legs. Drop your head and bow. Stretch the arms up and over any amount. Good. Keep hugging the upper arms, but lifting your collarbones forward and up. So you're maintaining that openness at the upper back as well as the chest. Good. Release the hands, please. Right hand comes to outer left ankle or shin. Left arm comes to the sky. Push your inner thighs wide. Nice. And scoop your belly. Beautiful. And then release and come back to center. Left hand reaches for right ankle. Right arm comes to the sky. Good. Keeping the inner thighs pushing wide. Right. How you enter into your encounters, your battles, will determine hugely what occurs as well as the outcome. Release the hands down to the floor, please. Nice job. Plant the hands. Step your feet back, downward facing dog. Good. Right leg comes up and back, down dog split. Nice. Step that foot forward between the hands, lunge. Good. Left heel drops down to 45 degrees, warrior one. So step that left foot a little wider to the left if you need. Drop the heel, inhale the arms up to the sky. Good. Outer left hip spins towards the top of your mat. Yeah. Good. Take your arms out wide, cactus arms, elbows bent. Good. Cup those elbows slightly forward. Draw your palms back. Chest lifts. Throat lifts. Good. And then really scoop into that low belly. Lift a little taller. Nice. Bring that front knee a little deeper into the lunge. Yeah. Good, you guys. And then stretch the arms back up to the sky, please. Reach very tall through your armpits. Beautiful. And then release the hands down to the floor. Keep your feet as they are. Bring both hands to the inside of the front foot. Walk a little bit more towards the upper left-hand corner of your mat. Keep that back heel anchored to the floor. So your legs are still in warrior one, but you're walking towards the upper left-hand corner of your mat. Good. Nice, you guys. Keep pressing back through the thighs. Beautiful. Noticing those moments where, again, you start to tense. Or you start to try and protect yourself instead of looking at where is the relationship of my body that I can make more space. So maybe that left hip spins forward more. Good. Maybe you have to adjust the way that you're holding yourself. Beautiful. Walk the hands all the way back in, please. Spin your back, heel up, lengthen your lunge, and then left hand plants, right arm to the sky, spinal twist. Good. Keep that right butt cheek dropping low. So you're wrapping that glute around your sit bone, sending the knee forward. Good. Release that hand down to the floor, please. Nice job. Step back, downward facing dog. Good. Slide forward to plank pose, upward push up. Lower down slow, coming through knees first if you need. It's really great. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a lot of ujjayi breath happening in here. Rise up, cobra. Good. Back to downward facing dog. And the ujjayi breath, the victorious breath, the one that says that if you focus, if you concentrate your energy, then you can surpass anything. You can succeed in anything. So it's not an aggressive breath. It's a breath that says stay soft, even though things are difficult. Left leg up and back, down dog split. Good. There's the effort for what the effort is, and then there's the quiet that's all around it. Step that left foot forward between the hands. Good. Drop the back heel 45 degrees. Step the foot wider to the right if you need. Inhale both arms to the sky, warrior one. Good. Virabhadra. Nice. Take the arms out wide, cactus arms again. So to give you a sense, right, of where you're lifting through your spine. So with those elbows rooting down, you lift your chest a little taller, right? That's the idea. As the elbows come down, your chest lifts, your armpits lift, your side body lifts. Good. Nice. So it's not a shortening of your torso, it's a lifting of your torso. And then front knee, bring it forward. That's it. Beautiful, you guys. Stretch the arms all the way up to straight. Reach longer from your hip to your armpits. Awesome. One more breath. Settle in. Good. And then release the hands down to the floor. Place both hands inside the front foot. Walk towards the upper right-hand corner of your mat. Keep the legs in warrior one. Good. Nice, you guys. So yeah, holding big muscle poses is not particularly comfortable. We don't really like it. But if we don't hold, we never get to those places where we find that we're trying to protect the way that we want to do the pose instead of learning how to do it more skillfully. Right? This is this concept of not giving in to the desire to just get rid of what stands in our way, but to actually find the way to stand with the world the way that it is. Good. Nice, you guys. Walk the hands back in, please. Spin your back heel up, lengthen your lunge, so wiggle that back foot back. Right hand plants left arm to the sky, spinal twist. Nice. Good, squeeze that left hip back and in, so don't let it shoot out to the side, Lisa, Harriet. There you go. Release that hand down to the floor, please. Step back, downward facing dog. Nice, you guys. Slide forward to plank pose, upward push up. Lower down slow, coming through knees first if you need. Good, rise up cobra, lift head, neck, and chest. Nice. Good, and release, please. Press back up, hands and knees. Good, take your right arm out wide to the right. Slide behind the left wrist, right shoulder finds the floor. Turn your gaze, take the left arm forward to straight. Threading the needle. Good. Draw the low navel in. Bring the thighs back, bring your hips back. Good. This whole last week I was talking a lot about preparation, right? That whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you want to see in the world, create in the world, how you prepare for it makes a difference. So we're doing warrior poses today, right? What's required for warrior one? What's required for warrior two? What's required for warrior three? Not just mentally, but physically. Bring yourself back up to hands and knees. Go the other way. Left arm reaches out wide to the left. Slide behind the right wrist. Left shoulder finds the floor. Good. Walk the right arm forward towards straight, threading the needle. Nice. Again, the thighs pull back. You open the ribs. That right rib cage is stacking on top of the left. Good. The moment you set a desire, the moment you have even the thought of what you want to see change, the process already has begun. You may have not taken any action yet, but the moment the thought is there, the process has already begun. The question is, how much energy are you going to put behind it, and what kind of energy are you going to put behind it? Come back up to center, hands and knees. Good. Downward facing dog. Good. Shorten your dog just a little bit, so walk the feet forward a tiny bit. Good. And then, yeah, so don't necessarily need your heels to be touching the floor, but just a little bit of a shorter dog. Right hand reaches underneath you for outer left ankle. So reach back, right hand to left ankle. Good. Keep your inner thighs pressing back. You are twisting your shoulders though, so really look underneath that left armpit. Good. Nice. And then release and switch. So the right hand is going to hold you. Left hand reaches for outer right ankle or shin. Again, equal weight on both feet. Yeah, keep those inner thighs drawing back and twist. Look underneath that right armpit. Move your ribs. Nice, Linda. Good, Laura. Good, Lauren. Nice, Alice. And then release back to center, please. Downward facing dog. Good. Step your right foot forward between the hands. You got it. Both hands come inside the front foot. Walk to your left until you come to the center of your mat. Turn your toes, wide legs. Good. Prasarita Padottanasana. Nice, you guys. And then hold opposite elbows here for a moment. If that means you want to bend your knees in this position, you're welcome to, but hold opposite elbows and hang. Good. Keep a little engagement of your low belly. Maybe sway from side to side if that feels good. Sway from your waist, not just moving your elbows side to side. Good. And then come back to stillness, please. Releasing the hands. Nice. Bring your hands to your hips. Come all the way up to stand. Good. Right toes turn forward towards the top of your mat. Good. Back foot, baby toe parallels the back of your mat. Bend your right knee. Come into warrior two. Good. Nice, you guys. And then reach back behind you, right? As though there's a wall behind you. Shift your rib cage backwards towards the back of your mat. So it's like you're reaching into your left hand more. Someone's behind you and you're reaching for them. Don't move anything else. Just reach that left side body back. Good. And then lift your your right hip point a little higher. Nice. Now drop a little deeper into the lunge. Go a little deeper with your pelvis. You got it. And then drop that left hand all the way down to the back leg. Right arm comes up and back. Turn the palm, reverse warrior. Good. Keep going deep with the legs. Drop into your pelvis. Yes. And then bring yourself all the way back up. Arms wide, warrior two. Good. Straighten the front thigh, please. Nice. Extend forward this time with the ribs. So coming into triangle pose, extend your ribs forward, reach. Good. Pause for a moment. Right arm is extended. Left arm comes over the ear. Both arms reaching towards the top of your mat. Yep. So you're coming into you're hovering in that preparation for triangle. You got it, Mark. Good. And then let that right hand touch down to the front leg, floor or block. Left arm goes straight to the sky. Nice. Not just attention on your legs, but attention on the extension of your spine. Keeping hold of that big picture, the big blue sky that says it's not just what I am looking at. It's not just what's bothering me that needs to be adjusted, but how do I create the shift that I want to feel, that I want to see in a way that doesn't disturb the world, but actually enriches it. I don't create any voids. Good. Bend that right knee again, please. Release both hands down to the floor inside the front foot. Keep your knee pointing straight ahead. Walk your hands to the left just a little bit until you start to feel resistance. Keep that knee going wide. Beautiful. You got it, Lauren. Nice. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, let your elbows bend any amount. Drop your shoulders a little lower. Good. Nice. And then walk it back towards the top of your mat, please. Don't change the legs. Cartwheel the arms back up to warrior two. Good. Drop the left hand down the back thigh. Right palm spins up and back. Reverse warrior. Nice. Again, staying in the steadiness, the strength of your legs, the strength of those big muscles of the body, but stay soft. Come back up to center, please. Take your hands back behind you, interlace your fingers at the low spine, twist your ribs forward towards the top of your mat, bow inside the front thigh. Good. As you bow forward, that back thigh has to lift up a little higher, but keep squeezing that right butt cheek in. Awesome. And then release the hands down to the floor. Nice job, you guys. Spin your back heel up, step back, downward facing dog. Good, deep breath in. The exhale, drop the knees to the floor, child's pose. I'm not a cruel individual. If you disagree, it's not my problem, it's yours. Good. Blue sky, breathe it in. Wherever your mind got tight, wherever it got caught in that feeling of, oh, I just have to get through this, or I just have to protect myself, or this is the only way I know how to move through a challenging moment. And that's to get tight. Breathe into something bigger. The whole practice of yoga is practicing this idea of being in the interconnectedness of things, being in that big spaciousness while also moving through your life. Walk yourself back up, downward facing dog. So we practice it, right? We practice doing things that are challenging and keeping the mind in a spacious place. Good. Left foot steps forward between the hands. Both hands walk inside the front foot, walk to your right until you come to the center of your mat. Turn the toes, come back to wide legs. Good. Again, sending the inner thighs wide. You got it. You're in the right place, Mark. Nice. Hold opposite elbows again. Hang for a moment. Good. Letting your weight fall towards the balls of your feet, towards your toes, and then pressing down into your heels again without letting the hips fall back. Good. And then release the hands down to the floor, please. Good. Walk your hands straight ahead. Come into that wide-legged downward facing dog. Good. If you have the space to. So here, draw back on the tops of the thighs. Feel as though someone is pulling your hips back in space. Nice. Under the blue sky, nothing is rejected. That goddess energy, nothing is rejected. There's a chance for transformation. There's the chance for reorganization. There's a chance for enlightenment, but nothing is rejected. Good. Walk your hands back in, please. Hands come to your hips, come all the way up to stand. Good. Turn your left toes forward towards the top of your mat. Good. Bend that knee, come into warrior two, arms go wide. Good. And then I want you to just, your arms are extended. I want you to just reach your right rib cage back towards your back foot or towards an imaginary wall behind you. Extend backwards. So you're moving your rib cage back in space. Good. It's actually sideways to the right. Nice. And then send that left hip point a little higher. That's your front hip point. And then send your thigh a little deeper into the lunge. Good. And then drop that right hand down the back leg. Left arm comes up and back, reverse warrior. Sometimes we call it peaceful warrior. You say, what does that mean? It means doing what needs to be done in a way that enriches the world without seeking to simply destroy what doesn't suit you. Come all the way back up. Good. Straighten that front thigh and then start to extend the other direction. Left rib cage reaches long towards the top of your mat. Good. Pause there. So again, you're reaching for triangle. You're still reaching. Right arm comes over the ear as well. So both arms extending towards the top of your mat. Good. Open the ribs to the side. Yup. Twist the heart to the sky. That's it. Good. Left hand touches down, front leg floor or block, right arm straight to the sky. So I remember quite a while ago, and can't even remember what I was listening to or why that this came up, but it's something that stuck in my head, and it was about improv comedy, basically, or improv anything. And the idea is that because you're improving, right, nothing is scripted, nothing is written, but whatever the scene is, whatever the scenario is, if any of the characters say no, it stops conversation dead, right? It stops the momentum, it stops the creativity. So the challenge is that you always have to say yes. You have to say yes in some way in order for the flow of the continuity of all of the participants to work. Good. Bend that front knee, please. Release both hands down to the floor, both hands inside the front foot. Walk to your right just a little bit until you feel resistance. Keep that front knee pointing straight ahead. Good. Walking a little bit to your right. So I think that stuck with me because I feel like that's the reality of all of interaction. The moment you say no, right, and there's nothing that can be done to shift or rearrange or acknowledge something else, is then we have conflict. Then we have conflict that is intractable, immovable. So can you be the energy that says, I'm going to continue to evolve, I'm going to continue to move forward, but I'm going to do it by saying yes. Walk yourself back forward, please. Don't change the legs. Cartwheel the arms back up to warrior two. Good. Right hand drops down the back thigh, left palm spins up and back, reverse warrior. By saying yes in some capacity, I leave the space open for that interconnectedness to do its work. Other participants that maybe add to my creativity. Come back up to center. Take the hands back behind you, interlace your fingers at the low spine, twist the ribs forward, keep the back heel anchored, bow inside the front thigh. Good. Really tricky is really spin that outer right hip, your back hip forward, and pull your left butt cheek in this position. It's hard. Good. Release the hands down to the floor. Nice job. Spin your back heel up, step back, downward facing dog. Right? So that state of openness, that blue sky is the energy that says, no matter what, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say that you are included, and also there's a way to be more cohesive, more peaceful, more expansive, more spacious. Good. Slide forward to plank pose, please. Lower down slow, all the way to your belly. Good. Take your hands a little wider, maybe even off of your mat, a nice wide-armed cobra. So pressing into your fingertips, please. Elbows up, lift head, neck, and chest. Good. And maybe let yourself sway from side to side, twist from side to side. Good. And then slowly release back to your belly, please. Make a pillow with your hands. Pause for a moment or two. Resting the forehead. Breathing into the back body. Breathing into that blue sky space. So I can still have a clear picture, a clear idea of what needs to move in me or in my life, what needs to be addressed. I can step into those battles with no aggression. I can step into those battles with the desire to say yes. Good. Deep breaths. At the end of your next exhale, please walk the hands back alongside your ribs. Press back up, hands and knees. Do a little cat and cow. Good. And then come to stillness, please. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, come back downward facing dog. Good. Right foot steps forward between the hands. Good. Walk your fingertips straight ahead, please. Step up, standing split. Left leg parallels the floor. Good. Use blocks under the hands if you'd like. Good. Left toes are turned down towards the floor. Baby toe turned down. Inner thigh spins up. Good. Scoop that low belly. Nice. Kick that heel a little higher. Beautiful. Walk your hands back just a little bit towards that standing foot. Yeah, even if it's only a little bit, so it's a little bit more out of your comfort zone, a little bit more out of the, this is how I usually balance. Come in. Good. Nice, you guys. And then go ahead and step all the way back. Nice long lunge. Good. Drop the back knee, please. Use a blanket if you'd like. Inhale the arms to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Beautiful. And then hands to heart center. Prayer twist. Left elbow comes to the outside of your right knee. Good. Pressing the knee wide, pressing the thigh wide. So it's not just your knee that's falling out to the side. It's actually your inner thigh, your right butt cheek pushing out to the side. That's what's going to power up the whole right leg. Good. Beautiful, you guys. If you're comfortable there, left fingertips to the floor, right fingertips to the sky. Good. Nice. Try to maintain that hook on the outside of the elbow, on the outside of the knee. Awesome. Come back to center, please. Release the twist. Good. Both hands find the floor. Lift your back knee up. Good. Right leg comes up and back, down dog split. You got it. And then keep that leg lifted. Walk your hands back to your foot. Come into standing split the other way. Oh my goodness. Yeah, find your heel. Bonus if you've got a wall behind you and you're using that. Nice. And then same thing. Keep walking back as close to that standing leg as you can get. Keep dropping the head, dropping the chest, but lifting through your low belly. Lifting through that inner thigh. Beautiful. And then walk your hands back forward, down dog split. Awesome. And then take that right foot to the floor, please. Downward facing dog. Vinyasa if you choose, or child's pose if you prefer. Vinyasa is sliding forward to plank, lowering down slow, rising up to cobra. Nice, Katrin. Draw your throat back in that Vasisthasana. There it is. Good. Finding your way back. Downward facing dog when you are ready. And even if you're not ready. Favorite catchphrase. Right? Because life is happening, whether you're ready or not. Here it is. Left leg up and back. Good. Step that foot forward between the hands, lunge. Walk your fingertips straight ahead, step up, standing split. Right leg parallels the floor. Nice. So if you were paying attention before I said, right, the way you prepare for poses makes a difference. So I'm just alternating, right, positions that make sense to bring you into the next warrior pose. So obviously, what are we doing with all this standing split? Preparing for warrior 3. Not yet. Walk your hands back towards that standing leg. Good. If you're like, if I just do warrior 3, we'll be over with, right? No. Good. Get close in so you really understand the support of that standing leg. Awesome. And then release the hands back to the floor, please. Step back, nice long lunge. Drop the back knee. Use a blanket there if you'd like. Inhale the arms up to the sky, Anjaneyasana. That doesn't mean don't focus on anything else in between because you're like, well, we're just going to get to warrior 3. No, be in Anjaneyasana. Hands to heart center, please. Prayer twist, right elbow to the outside of your left knee. And then as you draw that knee wider, push your left butt cheek wider, push your left inner thigh wider. And then while you're at it, push your right inner thigh wider. Good. And then extend the crown of your head so your shoulders draw down away from your ears. Nice. And then optional, open the hands, right fingertips reaching down to the floor, left fingertips reaching up to the sky, trying to maintain that hook of the elbow on the outside of the knee. Good. Really nice. And then bring it all the way back to center, please. Unwind your twist. Nice, Katrin. Hands to the floor. Lift your back knee up, and then sweep that left leg up and back to down dog split. Good. Start to walk your hands back towards your right foot, standing split from the other direction. Good. Stay light on your fingertips. Stay light in your upper body. Stay light in your navel. Good. This is a challenge, right? If you step into your battles tired and cranky, guess what you're going to create. Good. Hands walking back towards that standing leg. Maybe one hand or both comes to hold that ankle. So again, you're really getting clear on what it feels like to use that standing leg as your support. Good. Nice, Alice. Nice, Kristen. Good, Katrin. And then slowly release. Good job, Mark. Walk your hands forward again. Down dog split. Don't collapse. Good. Release that left foot down to the floor, as though me saying don't collapse is going to keep you from collapsing. Drop the knees to the floor, child's pose. Good. Throat back, Katrin. There it is. Yep. Good. You guys breathe into the lower spine. All right. Warrior one is the stance that we take. Warrior two, preparation. What is the energy that I am putting behind the trajectory that my thoughts and my actions are taking? Warrior three is when the action is in motion. We release that energy out into the world. So you have all of this time, right, internally to figure out and decide, how am I going to approach this? How am I approaching this? Because the moment the thought is there in your mind, the moment there is even a suggestion that something is challenging you, the battle's already begun. The only question is how much and what kind of energy are you putting behind that thought as it turns into action? Downward facing dog. So pay attention. What kind of energy are you using to propel yourself forward? Good. Right foot steps forward between the hands. Left foot steps forward to meet it, standing forward fold. Good. Bring your hands to your hips, please. Come all the way up to stand. Nice. And then hug the right knee up and towards your chest when you're ready. Take your time fixing your pants. Squeeze in. Good. Top of that left thigh pulls up and back. So again, that standing leg, get it strong. And then start to send your right leg back behind you. Come into warrior three. Let the shoulders come forward. Hands can be at heart center, or you can extend the arms straight ahead, or even reach the arms back if that feels better. Good. Nice. Butt to the sky, please. Awesome. Good. Use the strength of the inner thigh. Pull up, pull up, pull up. Beautiful. And then bring it all the way back up to stand. Bring that right knee up and back in towards your chest. Squeeze it in. Good. Now cross that right thigh over top of your left. Wrap the legs for eagle. Bend your left knee. And slide the left arm on top of your right. Wrap the arms. Eagle pose. Good. That's it. Scoop your belly. Drop your hips. Good. Harriet, lift your right hip a little higher. Left hip drops in. There you go. Good. And then slowly unwind. Really nice. Inhale the arms to the sky. Yay. Since no one was breathing during that. Guaranteed. Shake it out. Good. Choosing warrior three from this direction instead of from a lunge like we sometimes do it, because I want you moving without momentum. Right? I want you moving with an awareness that says I'm standing on one leg, and the one leg that I'm standing on, I have to pay attention to before I'm in the pose. Left knee up and towards your chest, right? Mentally, right? The energy that is behind my thoughts, I have to be conscious of that before I start to take action. Top of your right thigh goes way up and back. Good. And then maintain that navel to spine. Start to send your left leg back behind you. Try not to kick any dogs as your chest comes forward. Warrior three. Good. Nice, you guys. Keep kicking that inner thigh higher, butt to the sky. You got it, you got it, you got it. Reach long. And then bring it all the way back up and in. Bring that left knee back up in towards your chest. Good. And then cross the left leg over top of the right. Wrap the legs for eagle. Good. Bend that right knee. Drop your hips. Right arm slides on top of left in front of your chest. Wrap the forearms. Good. So Harriet, same thing on this side. Left butt cheek pulls back and in. Right hip pulls a little wider. Good. Laura, same thing. Left hip pulls back and in. There you go. Good. Slowly unwind. Come all the way out. Inhale the arms to the sky. Hua. And release the hands down to the floor. Forward fold. Good. Step back to plank pose, please. Upward push-up. Good. Deep breath in. And then drop the knees to the floor, child's pose. I considered doing an elaborate plank thing there, but you're welcome. Good. Blue sky. Nothing is rejected. And the more you are aware of the energy that is riding behind your thoughts as it moves into action, because even if you think you're not acting on a thought, right? If it's there, if it's strong enough in your mind, and especially if it's a conflicting one, it's driving your behavior somewhere. So the more you are clear on the energy behind your thoughts and how it's turning into action, the more you can fight your battles, approach your conflicts, your resolutions, whatever you want to put a name to it, in a way that is not based on aggression. It's not based on protecting the way you want things to be at the expense of the way someone else wants it to be. Walk yourself back up, please. Good. Come to sit on your butt. Take your legs nice and wide. Lucky for you, there is no warrior 4, so. Lucky for you. Good. Legs nice and wide. Good. And then just walk yourself straight ahead, forward fold. So do watch what your feet are doing. If they're falling in or falling out, try to adjust from your inner thighs or your hips what your legs are doing, so your toes can be straight up and down relatively. Good. And forward fold. Would say maybe warrior 4 is the aftermath, right? And if you're looking at the story of Virabhadra, right, he's created by Shiva from one of his dreadlocks in order to avenge the death of his wife, the suicide of his wife, really. Walk yourself over to that right thigh, please. So turning the belly, one hand on either side. Good. So you could do this as Janu Shirshasana instead, Laura, if being in the full straddle doesn't feel capable or comfortable. Or you're good where you are too. Nice. Come back through center, please. Start to walk over to your left leg. One hand on either side, turning your belly. So of course, Virabhadra does his job, right? He fulfills Shiva's desire of taking vengeance upon those that caused the suffering that caused his wife to set herself ablaze. And the aftermath of it is that he still has his grief. And then eventually he actually regrets the actions that he took against all of those individuals. So you call that warrior 4, the aftermath. Think about it. If you are going to take actions that are going to cause you to have regret, consider adjusting the energy behind those actions before you let them loose. Come back to center, please. Good. Walk yourself back in. Nice. Take your legs a little closer together, please. Straight ahead. Yeah, so, yep, straight ahead is what I want. Flex your feet. Dig your heels down. Take your hands alongside you. Press into your hands. So as you're pushing down into your hands, again, this is Dandasana. So you're drawing the ribs in, pushing down through your seat, extending out through the legs, lift through your chest, long throat. So if your hands don't come flat to the floor here, you can be on fingertips. Good. But you're pushing down into the floor, lifting long through your spine. Close your eyes. Good. Shoulders should be right on top of hips. So you're pressing down through your sit bones, drawing back through the groins, through your thighs, chest up, throat long. All directions you're squeezing. And let the mind go to that blue sky. So you're concentrating your energy, you're concentrating your prana, concentrating your effort. And then find that spacious mind. But full attention. Nothing is rejected. Nothing is left out. Good. One more deep breath. Press through everything. And then release the effort. Good. Let the eyes float open. Nice, you guys. Bring your hands behind you. So legs still out in front of you. Hands behind you. Fingers pointing towards your heels. Good. You can separate, bring the hands a little bit wider if you need. Coming into reverse plank. So if you can, keep your legs straight, big toes together, inner thighs together. You're going to point your toes down towards the floor, lift through your inner thighs, lift your hips up. Good. So you're in like that slide position. Again, plank flipped upside down. If that doesn't work with the legs straight, bend your knees, plant your feet, come into reverse table instead. So the knees are bent. Good. But same thing. You're lifting your hips up off the floor. Good. Make a choice between one or the other. Good. Keep your inner thighs rolling towards each other, Kristen. Beautiful. One more breath. Nice, Lisa. And then release the hips down to the floor. Beautiful. Inhale the arms to the sky, legs still straight in front of you. Bow forward, Paschimottanasana. Good. And then walk yourself back up, please. Beautiful. So I'm going to give you a moment to do an inversion of your choice. So if you would like to do headstand, you're welcome to come into headstand. If you have a wall and you want to practice handstand, either walking up the wall or kicking towards the wall, you can do that. Shoulder stand, great option if you don't have wall space. You still want to bring the legs up. If you have a block and you want to place it underneath your sacrum and take the legs to the sky for a supported shoulder stand, you can do that. If you do have wall space and you're like, up, legs up the wall is all I want, go for it. But find a way to turn yourself upside down for a moment. Good. Nice, Alice. Good, Harriet. Good, Harriet. Ribs in. Yeah, ribs in, and it's going to feel like you're folding at your waist. Good, because you got to bring your butt a little higher. Yeah, I know. Keep working with it. I can see just enough of what's going on. Nice, Mark. Arms look good. Very graceful, Lauren. I always say if you're going to fall, do it gracefully, and that was graceful. Good, Carolina, draw your ribs in. Yeah. Nice, Lisa. You got it. Keep that one leg that comes away from the wall really steady, and then it's from your low belly that you've got to adjust the other leg. There it is. Beautiful, you guys. I miss inverting with you. Take one or two more breaths where you are. And then slowly find your way down. Good, gracefully. Take a moment if you are in headstand or handstand, sitting either in Virasana or dropping the forehead to the floor in child's pose. If you are in shoulder stand, resting on your back. Maybe coming into fish if you feel like you want to. Good. And then slowly find your way onto your backs. If you're already there, lucky you. If not, find your way. Good. Draw the right knee in towards your chest. Extend your left leg down to the floor. And then turn your right shin. So reach with your left hand for the baby toe edge of your foot. So turn your shin as though you are doing pigeon pose on your back. Good. Keep the top of that left thigh rooted down. You're lifting the shin. So the knee is going wide. You're lifting the shin just a little bit higher maybe than you would in pigeon on the floor. Good. So Lauren, bring the left leg down to the floor. You're just working the right leg. Yep. So right shin comes in towards your chest. Left leg comes straight down to the floor. There you go. Nice, you guys. Good. And then hand that right foot all the way over to your right hand. Come into half happy baby. So the knee comes a little wider towards your armpit. Heel stacks on top of the knee. Good. Still pressing the top of that left thigh down to the floor. Nice. Katrin, widen your knee just a little bit more and draw your shin in a little bit more. There you go. Beautiful. And then bring that knee all the way in towards your chest and squeeze. Come across the body, spinal twist. Right arm extends back behind you or arm comes up alongside your ear. So Mark, just bring it, across your body. There you go. The energy behind your thoughts, it's feeding into your actions. And it begins the moment the thought enters your mind, the moment there is a reaction to someone or something, battle's begun. The only question is what kind of energy and what intensity of the energy are you putting behind that thought? Come back to center, please. Squeeze the knee in. Good. And then extend that right leg down to the floor, please. Bring the left knee in. And then turn, bring the knee a little wider, reach with the right hand for the baby toe edge of your foot. So you're turning the shin like you're an eagle, sorry, pigeon, not eagle. And then lifting that shin up towards your chest. Good, so the knee is still going wide. That's important that you keep the knee going wide. Maybe even feel like you're pushing your foot into your hand, like you're creating a little resistance there. Good. The peaceful warrior is the one that is completely in charge of the intensity and the direction of that energy from thought into action. And that doesn't lose sight of that big picture, the interconnectedness. But there's what I want, and then there's also what's going to enrich the world. And there's a place where both can be satisfied. Hand that foot over to the left hand. Good. Again, holding the foot or the ankle, come into half happy baby. So the knee goes a little wider towards the outer armpit. Heel is stacked over the knee. Sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. Good. Again, Katrin, I would say knee a little wider. There you go. Shin in a little bit more, Laura. Shin in a little bit more, Mark. Good. And then slowly release, hugging that knee in straight towards the chest. Come into spinal twist, come across the body, left arm extends wide or comes up alongside the ear. Breathe from your armpit to your hip. And then slowly back to center, please. Hugging that left knee in, bring the right knee in with it. Good, circle the knees, either both knees together going the same direction, or they can go in opposite directions if that feels happier for your lower back. Go the other direction if you have not already. Good, and then coming back to stillness, please plant the feet down on the floor. Last pose, bridge pose. Set the arms alongside you, feet in line with your sit bones. Press down through the upper arms, press into your feet. Breathe your hips up off of the floor. Breathe your chest wide open. A way of unifying where the hips have been externally rotated, internally rotated. Bring them back to steady, straight ahead. And then release the hips down to the floor, please. Consciously take your legs straight out in front of you, arms alongside you, palms face up. Shavasana, where you become the blue sky. Very gently bring the awareness back to your breath. Let the body begin to stretch and move. whatever ways serve it well. And as you're ready, draw the knees in towards your chest and roll to your right side. And take a moment there before you begin to push the floor away. Come back to an upright seated position. Hands coming to rest at the heart center, palm to palm. Or again, if you've been enjoying Lotus Mudra or something else, and go ahead and bring your hands to whatever position serves you. There's a saying in the yogic tradition that, the dance of the world is happening. And the question is only how do you choose to participate, but whether you choose to participate or not, it's still happening. You're still a part of it. So these holidays, right, Navaratri coming up, even if it doesn't make any sense to you, like, I don't celebrate it, it's not something I do, it doesn't, whatever, doesn't fit. The energy of it is happening, right? The energy of transformation is happening. It's just during that time, it's heightened, right? So you have the opportunity to be participating in that willingly, or you have the opportunity to at least acknowledge that as those currents are running through the world, those currents are running through consciousness, it's running through you too. And as you feel it, you take advantage of it. And that starts with knowing, being able to feel what is the energy that is behind my thoughts, that's running through my thoughts as it comes into action. So even before Navaratri, before there's a reason to say, oh, I wish I hadn't done that, or maybe I could have done that better, start to feel. If you are stepping into the world with that peaceful warrior energy, you have to be aware of what is the energy behind my thoughts, because that energy is what's going to translate into action. And the only question is, once the thought is there, battle's begun. The only question is, what intensity of that energy is there, and what type of energy is there? So you're already on the battlefield, whether you realize it or not. So start to be aware of the energy you are transmitting. Be a peaceful warrior. Be the blue sky. Don't reject anything. Say yes. Close with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Sliding the thumbs up to the space between the eyebrows. Namaste, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your night, a great rest of your week until I see you again. Do keep your eyes open for these hybridized classes if you're interested in being in the studio again. Those details are coming up. It will be possible. And then take a look. Cheryl and I are doing some fun offerings for Navaratri. So there's going to be a bunch of them that are going to be through a private Facebook group. If you're interested in being a part of that, details are up on the website. But there's going to be some standalone things too. Like I'm going to do a yoga nidra. We're going to have a workshop day. Cheryl and I will be doing teachings on the goddess for a couple hours. So if you want to do those standalone things, that will also be an option. And then I'm going to be doing a study group, Devi Mahatma. Those details are going to be up soon. The Devi Mahatma is the text of the stories of Durga, the battles of Durga. So lots of fun things. Keep your eyes open.